No, this is not clickbait, and no, you did not read that wrong. Sometimes YouTube titles just write themselves. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, and I have quite a bit of an interesting story to tell you today. When I made this purchase for this football shirt, I was quite excited for the video for two reasons. Partly because the shirt design is rather crazy and really interesting, and I thought it would be really good to see what that's like in person. And secondly, it was a brand new country to my collection. That's always interesting to know a little bit about who the country is, the club itself, and how I was able to get the shirt. But it actually turns out that that part is secondary to the quite ridiculous amount of money that DHL wanted me to pay to have this imported into the country. So I think the best thing for me to do is literally just open up a parcel to make sure it is the shirt I ordered, because why not let something else go wrong in this whole transaction? And then I'll dress the mannequin and I'll come back to you with regards to information about the shirt and also further information about the story regarding the transaction that they wanted me to carry out and pay just to get one shirt. So here is the parcel, which it does say repacked by DHL, so they've definitely had a go at opening it up. I'm not sure what they were expecting to get from this country, but you know, hopefully they've not replaced it with something a bit weird. So let's just get this opened up. I have full faith in the person who sent this for me. Right then, so we'll get rid of that. Right then, so there is one view of the shirt, and here is another view of the shirt. It has a tag. I was speaking to them directly, and they did reassure me that tags would be attached, but you can never be sure in this game. So it's just nice to see it in person. So there is the shirt. Let's get it open up. Screw it. Let's just pull it. There we go. I can feel some paper as well. Tiny paper. Okay then, I want to make sure it is the right size because I'm always a bit worried. Right, it does say medium on there, so hopefully that does translate into a European medium, because this is not a European shirt. Ooh, okay then. Right then, so here is the shirt design at the back there. Okay then, so there's a little bit of text on the back of the neck, which, if you are familiar with that particular language, you may think, okay then, that might narrow it down with regards to some of the countries that this could well be from. Now, if you look at the front of the shirt, now then, that's not too bad, is it, eh? That's a lovely design, that is. How about that? I'm really pleased with that. Obviously, naturally, I was only purchasing it off online images, and sometimes you can be a little bit let down by the real deal. But I'm really happy with this. It is a Araya manufactured shirt, and they're the people who I actually bought it from. I bought it from them directly. It has the tags. It is medium, and looks really nice. So the best thing for me to do now is dress the mannequin, do some research on the club. If anybody recognises the club immediately right now, without me necessarily explaining you who it is, well done, because before actually purchasing this shirt, I never heard of them before. At least I don't think I've ever heard of them before. Okay then, there is the shirt. I am absolutely over the moon with this purchase, regardless of how much money I may or may not have paid for this shirt. I'm very pleased with the design. But most importantly, who is the club and where are they from? I'm probably going to mispronounce this one now, but it's Qadsiya SC, and they are from the country of Kuwait. How about that, eh? It's not every day you see a football shirt from Kuwait, whether it be a national team or a club team. So I'm pretty stoked just to be owning one of those. Very rare shirt. This one is their away shirt from last season, 21-22. And, like I mentioned previously, I bought directly from Araya over WhatsApp. I think I came across their Instagram account, and then I think they had their WhatsApp number on there, so I just messaged them on there saying, is it possible to ship to the UK? And they were like, we'll think about it. And they came back and said, yes, we can do it. Turns out that the Kuwait dinar is actually one of the few currencies that is actually more valuable than the UK pound. So when you're doing the conversions, it actually means that you have to pay more, which is not usually something I expect from the UK. So I was kind of like, don't know if I should make this purchase right now, because I was expecting to be a little bit cheaper. So I sort of waited a few months, which sometimes does bite you in the bum because you kind of miss out on the shirt entirely. I noticed on their Instagram account, because I was still following them, that they were having a sale on all Qadsiya SC merchandise, including kits. So I dropped them another message saying, can I make the purchase now with the sale price? And they were like, yes, we can do that for you, sir. They sent across an invoice, and I duly paid this. So the actual shirt itself, they were pricing it as £30, which I think is a great price for a shirt, regardless of where it's coming from, but specifically from a nation that's very difficult to acquire. And the shipping was £20, which for one item is a lot of money. Maybe I should have bought a few and sold them on. Probably would have been smart, I guess. I'm sure there would have been some interest. But, you know, when you total it together, £50, it's still not unreasonable for a shirt that's quite as obscure as it is. So with regards to the club, they are based in Kuwait City, which of course is the capital city of Kuwait. And the club was founded in 1953 as Al Jazeera, before they changed their names. A lot of Al Jazeeras in that part of the world. And they are currently the joint most successful team in Kuwait. There are actually 3 teams that share that title with 17 titles each. Qadsiya, Al Arabi and Kuwait SC. Those 3 have pretty much dominated the league since its inception, though Qadsiya haven't actually won the league title since 2015-2016. The last time a team that wasn't one of those 3 that won the league was Kazma SC, and that was in 1999-2000. So it's been quite a hot little rivalry between those 3 teams. If you don't support one of those 3 teams, probably quite boring, but I'm sure that league is probably quite entertaining. Usually it's not surprising to see one team winning it every season with a few sort of every now and then someone pops in, but it's good to see that there's at least some competition there. With regards to the club itself, I was trying to find anything that was interesting. I was looking through their squads. You know, you expect a couple of random Brazilians floating around in there. And then with regards to their managers, they used to be managed by Luis Felipe Scolari, so obviously the ex-Brazil manager, Chelsea manager. He's managed like dozens of teams, and he actually managed this team twice. He was sort of floating around that part of the world, just sort of getting hired by whoever would actually take him on. So I'm not sure how successful he was then, but you know, that was one of the teams that he has on his CV. With regards to the shirts that they have for offer, so this is their away shirt. Their home shirt is just pretty much a yellow plain design, which if that was the only one available, then that's what I'd gone for. And the third one is a brown number, which did sort of interest me, primarily because brown is such a weird and interesting colour. It's not one you see too frequently, for pretty obvious reasons. It's not the most sightly colours to have been offered. So it was down to the third, and of course this one here. And, you know, I went for this one just because the design's kind of very eye-catching, and I think probably a lot of you watching this now would have done the same thing. So the club itself, they actually have an online store. I'm not sure if you actually can ship outside of Kuwait. I have no idea. I couldn't really try anything because it's pretty much empty. There's no shirts available apart from maybe the home shirt, and there was only very few select sizes there. I'm probably waiting for the restock for the new season that's coming ahead. So if you're interested in buying one, possibly that's an option for you there. If not, you can speak to Araya if they are actually supplying the shirts for that particular club. So the most important part of the story, I suppose, is what happened and what is that charge. So like a lot of shirts that I buy from across the world, DHL are the courier of choice for a lot of places, just as they seem to have the biggest infrastructure, and they're the ones that I usually get the notification through. They're the ones that pick it up and they'll tell you, you know, where it is and what's going on. So I think it was arrived into the UK, and then I got a notification not saying it's, you know, landed at wherever it was. It was, you need to pay a customs fee, which I thought, oh, that's rather interesting, because as far as I understand it, anything less than £145, I shouldn't have to pay anything unless it's like alcohol or something like that. So I thought, oh, that's interesting. Let's see what is what's occurring here, because I haven't had to pay customs for such a long time. And then when I clicked on the link and it loaded it up, and it said it was £18,445.68, I naturally just burst out laughing. Like, what a ridiculous amount of money for a shirt that is valued and cost me £30. Quite clearly, something has gone wrong here. So I just sort of sat there looking at it going, now what do I do? Because as far as I understand it, they will not deliver this parcel until I pay that fee. And I think, from what I read correctly, DHL pay the customs for you, and then you just pay DHL. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I hope they haven't paid for this, because they're idiots if they have, because that's a lot of money. Surely, when they opened up the parcel, did they not think, okay, there's one t-shirt in here, doesn't look like there's any signatures on, doesn't look like it's match worn by Maradona at any point, probably might not be worth whatever the hell they thought it was worth, then this import tax of £18,500 might be a little bit too high. So I thought, well, how am I going to get around this? Because a massive company like DHL, you can't just phone up and go, oh, can I speak to Mr. DHL, please? That's just not going to happen. So I found a email address which I thought was fine. I messaged them saying this is what's currently happening. Clearly something's gone wrong. And then I was like on the automatic response. It was like, thank you for the email. We've got some other email addresses that you think might be more appropriate. And I'm like, I don't know which one to use right now, so I'll just wait. And a few days went by and it was like still saying that I need to pay. And then I got a phone call and I answered the phone and it was DHL. And they were like, is this, such and such? Yes, yes. You've made a purchase recently? Yes. Is it this? Yes. Because you've got some outstanding charges. And I was like, oh yeah? What are these charges that you want me to pay? And £18,500 thereabouts. I'm like, oh, okay then. I goes, you don't think there's something wrong with that? And he's like, what do you mean, sir? I goes, quite clearly something's gone wrong here. This parcel is worth £30. I don't know where you got £18,500. I appreciate that the currency is stronger in Kuwait, but I don't think it's quite that strong. And they're like, oh, so you're saying it's worth £30? I goes, yes, it is. So he goes, give me a moment, I'll go and check. So he comes back to me after 5 minutes and goes, yes, sir, you are correct. There has been a little bit of a issue on the currency conversion there. It's actually not £18,500. We will contact you with the new amount if you need to pay something else. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right, doesn't it? What do you think I was importing? Like, if it was like Italian supercar, fair enough, right? But seriously, one item of clothing, something definitely went wrong there. So he goes, have you got any other issues? And I'm like, no, not really. Just send me my parcel, and hopefully I don't have to pay anything because I shouldn't. As I sit here, I don't have to pay anything. So yeah, I think that one has been resolved. So I suppose well done to DHL for resolving it, because that one could have absolutely ruined me if I had to pay that, because there's no way I'm paying that money. Anyway, it got delivered to a neighbour, the worst neighbour for me to get delivered to because that person's never in. So I had to wait about 4 days to get my actual parcel. So I was like, okay, everything's going wrong on this one. But that's it, really. That's where I'm at. The most up-to-date part is literally me doing this video and opening it up. It is the shirt I ordered. It is really nice. I don't have to pay $18,500. But yeah, I mean, just bear that in mind if you are going to be purchasing this shirt from Mireia, that for some reason you may have to pay $18,500. You won't have to pay it unless you feel like you want to do and you have so much money that is not even an issue. But you may have to chase up some people. Hopefully they give you a call. You can just tell them that there's been a mistake. But that was a nice little story. Didn't really get me too stressed because if it would have been like a smaller amount, say like £200 or £300, you kind of like, but because it's such a ridiculous number, you just go, might as well say £10 million. That's just clearly not going to happen. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that little bit of misfortune for me. Everything worked out well in the end. I'm happy with the shirt, and it's from Kuwait. So that's another country ticked off. We're very close to 100 right now. Have a great weekend ahead, and I will see you on Monday with whatever video I decide to release then. Thank you as always for watching, and goodbye.